All right. Good afternoon, morning, night, wherever you are in the world right now, because I realize it is 2 p.m. for us on a Saturday. But welcome everybody to the first ever live stream from Start Your Dungeons. I'm Bryce.
I'm Adam.
And thank you guys for joining us. So this is something we're going to start trying out. It's something kind of a different way to provide things for you. We always do reviews and different things for the channel, but we decided we should do more long form videos that are interesting, give you guys kind of insights into things maybe we don't always do as much.
Get my head the same height as yours.
Yeah, I definitely made mine a certain way because you could see the plants that are growing on the wall over here. Yeah. So it was like very only the games in the background.
Yeah.
So I think our big thing today is we're going to talk about is we're going to throw down and talk about best ofs categories for RPGs.
And I think these are like our favorites, and we're not saying these are the absolute best. If you have another opinion, your opinion is wrong. Like these are just Adam. The games I've played. The ones that I'm going to say are the best are the ones that I've played. If you found something that you liked more than that, then tell us, either tell us in the live stream or, later on, tell us in the comments, pitch us new games.
Right. And I think caveat here, because I would have just chosen Fabula Ultima for everything on this list. I chose not to do that. It was hard. But I definitely
same here. Sure. I almost did Fabula Ultima or Swords and Wizardry because there are not only multiple editions, different versions of Swords and Wizardry, but there are hacks for Swords and Wizardry. So
it was hard. I was like sitting there trying not to do that, of just being like, oh, I should just do only Fabula Ultima and then explain to them which of the atlases they need to help run this. But
would have been easy.
But basically what we're going to do, we've got a couple of different categories that we're going to talk about. So we're going to introduce each category. We're going to introduce our game, and then we're each going to talk about why we think that fits into that category. And the fun part is we don't know what each other picked, which I think was a really fun part of this.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the first category. We're talking again, best of RPGs, best introduction to RPGs. So how did you look at this, Adam? How did you pick your best intro?
So, I thought about simplicity and, like what kinds of things are barriers for players to enter an RPG. But then, I just started thinking like, what have I used more than anything else to get people to start playing? And, what kinds of things have I used that haven't locked people in to a certain style of gaming, so it more or less improved their entry into gaming.
Okay.
What about you?
So for me, I think my big thing was looking at two reasons. If I was going to teach this game, but my flip side of that was, what RPG would I hand somebody and say, if you want to get into DMing, but also into playing, I think this is a good one for you to start with. Because I think as a whole, it can be hard sometimes to just do the intro for people and then go, oh, I love playing it, but I don't know how to run it. So I think that to me was a big thing of going. Also cheapness, I think, was my other thing. Not having to buy a ton of stuff. So I'm happy to start with this one because we can talk about what was once my favorite game of all time, but has now been dethroned to second place, unfortunately, which is Monster of the Week. And I've got the older, not hardback copy, but I mean, Monster of the Week, I think it has a couple of things going for it when we talk about getting introduced to role-playing games. And the first thing is, it sounds really difficult to run, but there's only 8 possible actions in the game. And I think anything powered by the apocalypse is kind of an easy thing for you to learn how to play with, especially when it comes to what do you need for it? Because you need 2d6, and I always tell people, you own a copy of Monopoly, you can play this game. That's all you need, right? So I think that's a big part of it. It's easy to get into. It's easy to play. But Monster of the Week also, I think, more than a lot of other games, has a variety of ways you can play it. It can be played as a dark horror monster hunter. It can be played as a slice of life high school, Buffy the Vampire style.
Yep.
It could be played like Scooby-Doo. So
Yep.
it has all of that. And I think that's why usually when I tell people, oh, what should I do if I want to get into role-playing games? Pick this one up because it allows a ton of different fun play styles for it, but also it's cheap. Last I checked, this is a $30 book, and that's all you need. There are expansions and things, but they're not required. And I think that's a big part for an intro RPG.
It is so fun, and it can be cinematic. And I'll just say some of the funniest inside jokes that we have come from that game.
100%.
All right. So my pick for best beginner RPG, the best one to start with, Swords and Wizardry White Box.
I called it.
Okay. So this is an older release. This, I believe, was a copy that I got off of Lulu, which is a print-on-demand service. And the reason why I like White Box so much is that you really only need a D20 and a D6. If you have a D20 and a D6, you're good to go. And it really does emphasize role-playing rather than just constantly rolling dice. It's more about, like Matt Finch says in the book, it's about rulings, not rules. And, I always go with his phrase, imagine the hell out of it. And, I think it's such a, like that D20 style system. I mean, it is original rules D&D, but reorganized in such a way that it's playable.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I think too that game will really teach you in similar ways to Monster of the Week how to role play, where it's like in a lot of games now, like you look at a newer editions of games like Dungeons and Dragons stuff, it's like I have all these feats and abilities. And it's like, bro, you're a fighter. You get a +1 to hit. That's all you get, bro. Like that's everything. Yeah. But it does a really good job in that regard. And I that's a good pick. I think more people should be on Swords and Wizardry and should watch our interview we did with Matt Finch, because I think that was a timeless, really good kind of interview with him and his style.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have best fantasy role-playing game.
All right. Do you want to do yours or you want me to do it?
Can we do it at the same time and see if it's the same thing?
You mark, set, go.
Yeah. It had to be this, right?
I mean, y'all, if you're not playing this game, what are you doing with your life?
Listen, the late pledges are still open for the new Kickstarter. If you want the books, the hardcovers, the bestiaries, get on it, guys. I know they haven't closed it yet by the time of recording this, so
it's just so good. I mean, even
what can we say?
If you get the press start, the starter or the quick start adventure, that thing teaches you how to do everything that you need to do, and it's just like little snippets of story, but it's okay because it's enough to get you hooked. And I think they sell it for about $5 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like $5. I think it just got updated as well. I know they just fully updated the entire thing for free. And so I think if you're going to try it, pay that price, you're going to like it. The quick start's great. I think it was a fun way to learn, but also we could wax poetically about Fabula Ultima forever, but the dice system's incredible. And again, I could have picked it for every single one of these categories because it really can play everything.
Yeah.
And I think if you're looking for something, as I tell everyone else, this is a $30 book, comes with a free PDF copy of it, and don't let the JRPG part of it scare you away, because it's more than that. It just has that style.
I feel like the thing that people gloss over, people love the dice mechanic. They love the artwork, and everything looks great. The thing that they're glossing over, which I think is so important, are the bonds. The bond system in that game can be applied to any setting. I mean, it is just how you are bonded to other characters.
Right.
It is so well done, and you will have emotional responses to these characters because of that in the system.
And I think it takes that from something like Powered by the Apocalypse, which has that, but not as heavy.
Yeah.
And again, if you're interested in the setting, I mean, there's tons of setting books now. There's what, 3 atlases that have been released: nature, high fantasy, and science fiction. Is it? No, techno fantasy.
It's techno, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a new beach here coming. Like, this is the game, guys. If you're not playing it, you got to get it. It's just totally worth it. All right, next up, we've got best horror one, and I think this is going to be different for us. So I'm happy to go first with mine because it is a game that I don't think you've played. Only I have played, but I know you're going to love it. And that is a game that I don't necessarily always love this company's games, but I do like this one, and that is Old Gods of Appalachia.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't played, guys, it is set in 1910, 1920 sort of era, Appalachian woods and everything in the United States. And I think it is just does such a good job of horror in a way that I like. There's something about a horror game that feels like it's both not horrific and horrific because it's real. So I've run I think it's the Dead Man's Adventure. It's like one of the intro adventures they tell you to run. I've run it now twice, and every time I run it, the characters are always different in how they react to things. I think the system may be a little bit difficult to understand when you're reading it, but once you play it, it's pretty good. And there's a difference between the horror of like gore and violence and like this horror, which is disturbing, of being like, hey, this is a forest spirit of all rabbits, and when you look in its soul, it has the soul of every mangled, murdered rabbit inside of it screaming to come out, and he's asking for your help. Do you take it or not? Like, is he evil? No. Is he good? No, not really. So like, it's just very, very cool in the way it does horror. And as somebody who's not a huge horror guy, this one just grabs me. And I think if you're really into the setting, the book is mostly setting. I mean, there's chapters on just states in the United States during the time that this takes place. And I think that's really cool. So for horror, Old Gods of Appalachia has to be my pick. What about you, Adam?
So mine is split. So but it's split with for a good reason. So first pick, the old-fashioned Call of Cthulhu. Now this is the starter box, of course. That starter box is fantastic. It has the kind of like one player choose your own adventure kind of style adventure in there, and it's a lot of fun, and it has replayability, but it also teaches you how to play in horror and just how much tension you can get in a game.
100%.
So now I split that also with, if you like Call of Cthulhu, I'm going to urge you to play Trail of Cthulhu.
I really, really liked that game.
And the reason why I say that is, I mean, it's very similar. It uses the gumshoe system. We've talked about it on the show before, but with Trail of Cthulhu, it's simplified. And it's possible to play that entire game without ever rolling a die. You're really just looking for clues. You're trying to solve a mystery, and it does ramp up that tension. So I think for me, a horror game is going to have to rely on tension, not gore. It can't be I can't see myself liking a game that is, like a jump scare kind of thing.
Right.
It has to ramp up tension, and both of those do that well. Chaosium, and I think it's Pelgrane Press
Yeah.
that does Trail of Cthulhu. Just fantastic job.
And those games too, I think if you're really into investigation games, you can add or drop as much horror from those as you want. And I think that
Mhm.
also makes them really good. Like, oh, that Call of Cthulhu starter box is like perfect. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah. Well worth it.
Yeah.
All right. Next category we're talking about is best science fiction. Adam, why don't you start? Because I don't think you picked mine.
Oh, I definitely did not. So this is going to be a blast from the past because I was thinking about sci-fi, and I have played quite a few sci-fi games, and I like sci-fi games. But there's one that we haven't played in a long time. You have played it. We
Mm.
haven't played it in a very long time, but whenever we did play it, it was an absolute blast. Cosmic
Oh,
Control.
that's funny. I remember I've only played that game twice, and once with you and once with another group, and that game is a hoot if you get
Uh-huh.
the right people.
Yeah, if you get the right people, if you get some people that really have a good sense of humor,
Mhm.
it is just so good. And the dice system kind of reminds me a lot of Fabula Ultima because you're rolling
Mhm.
two dice at the same time. But you have a D12 and then you have one other die. And the
Mhm.
better you are at that thing, the higher the die value that you roll. Um, but the thing that sells it for me, the reason why I'm just like, please play that game. If you like sci-fi, please play this game. The reason why is because there is not one game master. It
Mhm.
goes around the table. So you're doing a little bit, you're trying to create the story, and then it shifts to the next person.
Yep.
And you can think that that game is going to go one way, and then it's just like, whoa,
Yep.
it
I
just goes in another direction.
I remember playing that game, and when I played with not with you, but I played it with a different group, and we did it where we would go and then bursting into the room, and we would toss the DM's thing over to the next person, and it would just be like,
Yeah,
a cheeseburger monster, and they're like, okay, that's part of
yeah.
the story now.
And it's totally retro sci-fi.
Mhm.
They say on the back, it's rockets, ray guns, and robots. And
100%.
oh my gosh, they nail it. They nail it.
Yeah.
It's great.
I feel like that's a game too, very under the radar because it's cheap. It is not
Yeah.
an expensive book to pick up. And I would almost recommend that if you like party games, it
Yes.
feels like a party game as a role playing game. So I
Yeah.
think that's a really good one. I'm going to go the opposite direction from you and do a
Okay.
horror science fiction game.
Okay.
But it's one that I can't remember if you played. I have played this a few times now, and the only reason I play this game is because of Rob and Wayne, and that
Okay.
is Mothership.
I haven't gotten to play it.
We've got to get you to play it, dude.
Yeah.
Mothership is incredible. So
Mhm.
very simple system. I mean, it is literally you are going to do these things on space stations wherever you go, and you're going to die because you are just building stress and tension. Your character actually rolls to try and stop that. And
Mhm.
as it gains, you literally wound yourself from the amount of stress you take.
Mhm.
And it just does such a good job. I think there's only 3 or 4 stats. I can't honestly remember now at the top of my head, but it's like super easy to build a character. There's a great app made by them along with a web app to like just generate a character in 2 seconds. So it has so much going on for it, and I was like literally never heard of this game until Rob told me about it, and that was when the
Mhm.
deluxe edition came out on Kickstarter, and I said, this guy I met said it's good. I'm going to try it. And I have never run it. I've only played in it, but I have had some of the best moments in gaming. One of my favorite ones was there was a monster centipede trying to kill us, and I self-sacrificed myself by blowing myself up with my own grenades. And due to the amount of armor he had, I rolled just enough to do 1 damage. And I rolled like I think 10d10.
Yeah.
And literally he goes, cool. So you did 1 damage, and then Rob goes, cool. I'm gonna turn on the batteries and like try and knock him out by like shocking him with these open electrical wires. And Wayne goes, cool, man, roll it. And he rolls it, and he's like, all right, well, he's got a really high thing, so he'll probably succeed at this. And he failed, and I was like, so I sacrificed myself for nothing. It was
That
absolutely
sounds great.
Oh yeah,
I'm in.
yeah, like we have to play it, but also you guys, Mothership is a great one. If you're looking, the community is fantastic for it. There's tons of expansions. You can buy zines for like $5 for the game with full adventures. High recommendation. I
Wow.
love Mothership. This is our next category: modern urban fantasy. This was my hardest one
Yeah.
out of all of them.
I don't think either one of us play a lot of that genre. But I
No,
do have a favorite that I have played.
I have one. I have 2 games that I own, but I've only played one of them. And that is the one I picked. Which I think you have played with me, because this is where the pickaxe joke comes from.
Uh-huh.
So my choice is more urban fantasy, but it's Candela Obscura.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've gone on record saying I don't love this game when we reviewed it.
But it was fun. We had a good time.
It is very fun, and I think if you're
to be honest, I'm gonna give you more credit than the game. Okay, you as a game master, I feel like that was why it was fun.
That's fair. I would say if you're interested in the more urban sort of fantasy, that one definitely takes the cake. And I have always argued that book, it is one of the best setting books you will ever like open. So if you're interested in a setting book for that, I would pick that one. But that was the only one I could think of. I'm intrigued to see which one you picked.
This is the starter set, but City of Mist.
Oh, interesting. I didn't really think you liked that as much as
I did. I had a good time playing that starter box. I mean, it feels like you're playing a movie.
Yes.
And
100%.
I feel like when we played that, I had a lot of fun. And our friends Eric and Dean were over here, and they were playing, and they had a blast too. So
I think I had fun playing that game. I don't like running it, but I would love playing it.
Yeah,
I think that's a big thing.
But yeah, if you want something that feels like an action, urban fantasy kind of thing, but it's modern day, give it a try. Get the starter set that's on Drive Through RPG and give it a try.
Yeah, I think that starter set, when we talked about it, I didn't love running it, but it is a really nicely priced for what you get in its starter box.
Oh yeah, it's really good quality, I thought.
Mm-hmm. So definitely a good one. I think it might be the best one I can think of, at least that I own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't own that one, but I do. Anyway, next up, best post-apocalyptic. Which game did you pick?
I got a weird one.
I got a weird one. I got a throwback.
I didn't go with the post-apocalyptic stuff that you usually get from movies, and I was thinking end of the world, zombies, and that. No.
Huh. I have not played that still.
Wires in the Woods. I ran through this a couple of times, and it is so you're playing one of these little creatures, and it's cooperative. You can do it 2-player or single player, and what you've got are you find little artifacts, and these artifacts are things that you find around, and you're trying to discover. And I'm just gonna say, it's weird in the right way, and I love it, love it, love it. I will sing its praises forever. And I got this from Free RPG Day, and I'm going to buy the full book. I think I've run through this enough that I have to get the full book and get the full experience.
Interesting. I have not touched that. It is in my pile, but I haven't looked at it yet. Because I remember you saying it's praise. and it was
Yeah.
very good, especially
I
for a
missed that.
solo game. I think
Yeah.
that's huge. I have one that I know you know what it is. I can't remember if we've played this together or not. I've run it for a few people a few times, but I had to go with an oldie that you cannot get anymore, I don't think, at least in print. But The End of the World Zombie Apocalypse.
Yeah.
It is hard for me to pick anything else when it comes to post-apocalyptic because End of the World is just a system. Zombie
Mhm.
Apocalypse was the first game in that. There's 4 books that were released. It's based on I believe a Spanish role-playing game system that
Mhm.
got published by Fantasy Flight. But
And we did a
if
full
you
video on this, like, I don't know, about a year and a half ago.
retro
And
review of it.
yeah, it's a great system. And I feel like if you, especially with that zombie book, if you have
Mhm.
friends who are fans of Walking Dead or Last of Us or anything like that, you automatically have that hook. You got them.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
a
plays out just like those kinds of shows and
it is,
games.
and it's really cool in that it lets you play how you want. You can make the zombies however you want them to behave. You can play yourself. That's actually what they tell you to do is literally build
Yep.
yourself as a character and kind of play through. And I think that's fun. And then at the end of the thing, you get to like vote on like if you get a positive or a negative based on how you played, which I think is really interesting. So yeah,
Yep.
again, you'll probably have to get that one as a PDF. If you can find a physical copy, great, but there's probably only PDFs of that one.
Yeah.
All right. Best historical game. Uh, this is a weird. This one was hard until I remembered I own one game that's perfect for this.
Yeah. You can go ahead with yours.
I've talked to you about this, but we've never played it. And this is Night Witches.
Yeah. I remember talking about that, and I do want to play that a lot.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, the Night Witches was the all-female fighter pilots by the Russians in World War II. They were called that because at night they would fly basically in the cover of darkness to try and do these missions that they didn't want to send the men on. And they were called the Night Witches because their planes were literally shaking apart in the night. And it would scare the enemies. But this is a whole system that's literally about you going on those adventures. Well, I don't want to call it adventures because I actually think, from a historical standpoint, it is a dark book. I think if you're looking for something that's lighthearted fun, this is not it. There's
Mhm.
like literally the whole adventure is about like your relationships with people and how they degrade and how you like kind of fall apart mentally as you try to do these missions. So
Mhm.
dark game, but like one of my favorite things in actual history. So, and it's powered by the apocalypse. So, not a terribly
Mm,
hard system to pick up. So
there we
um
go.
I don't know if you can still buy this one really anymore. I've seen it like once or twice in a shop, but if you're looking for something really different and you like World War II stuff but want like a different take on it, Night Witches is like high on my list to always tell people.
That sounds pretty good. So mine, I don't believe I played with you. I have not played this in years. I'm talking
Okay.
years. I played it a couple of times when I lived in South Carolina, and I think I played it once when I lived in, or whenever I moved to Georgia. Um, it is PDQ Sharp. I don't know if you can see that.
I have
So
no idea what this is actually.
yeah, so it is a very rules light game. It's a 2d6.
Mhm.
Gotta love a 2d6. So the PDQ part is prose, descriptive qualities, and
Hmm.
the PDQ Sharp is a subset. So this is made by Atomic Sock Monkey Press. I
I
love
love that
their, I
name.
love the name. But the PDQ Sharp book is it's a swashbuckling
Okay.
thing. So it's more historical kind of pirate stuff.
Mhm.
And what you do is you're making a swashbuckling pirate that has certain fortes. They have certain
Okay.
things that are make them better than others, and that is going to add modifiers to your 2d6, and you're trying to hit a target number, of course. But the reason why I like it so much is, one, it's free, and
Always
it's
a win.
available on drive-through, and it's because it's black and white, it's easy to print, so you can just print the thing off, and it's not that bad. But it's so fast. It has the dice mechanic is very fast. So when you're dueling, if you're doing any kind of dueling, it is just quick, 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 and it's good. I do like it. When I was thinking about this, I was like, why haven't I played that in so
Yeah,
long?
I'm amazed we haven't thrown that down, because that seems like
I
one
haven't
of them.
thought about it.
Yeah,
And
because I like the swashbuckling stuff.
I haven't thought about it in so many years. And whenever you asked about historical games, I was struggling. I was like, wait a minute, I got something on my tablet, and like,
That is perfect. I like that. I'm
that
gonna
was a
definitely
good
check
one.
that one out.
Yeah, it
That
was
is a
fun.
cool one. All right. Next one is best rule set. I think we might have picked the same one, but we'll see.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
mine is not going to be a surprise if any of you have seen our show before.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a surprise for me either. So
I didn't do Fabula Ultima.
okay. Then you have to reveal yours first, because
Okay.
I will just say I did do Fabula Ultimate.
Well, see, the reason why no, I mean, the reason why I didn't is because with Fabula Ultima, I mean, I could play it all day long, all day, every day. But there is a rule set that I think when it comes to completeness,
okay.
and something that whenever you really boil it down, it is the very essence of role playing. And people complain about having to have funny dice, and I don't care.
Oh, this would be your pick. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That is 100% your game.
I mean, and I love the Star Wars, the Star Wars RPG. I love it. I can't think of a better way to represent Star Wars, but whenever you apply this to any other setting, it still works. It can do modern day, it can do horror. They have setting guides in that book, and in the there's like an expansion book. It's like a player's guide, but it has some other settings. There's the Terranoth setting. There's the Beanstalk one from the Android game. There's Twilight Imperium, and what's the other one? It's from that card game.
Arkham Horror?
No, it's a sci-fi, but it's the really, really bizarre. I have it in the other room. I have everything for Genesis, but once you are comfortable with that dice system, it's so good, y'all. I know. I hear people. I've talked to people who are like, I just don't want to play anything where I have to buy a different kind of dice. I don't like the symbols on the dice. You're missing out on an amazing game.
Yeah, I'd almost argue that could have been a good choice for best intro, because all you have to do is say, you roll these dice, I as the DM hand you these.
Yep.
And then you roll it, and then I will tell you what happens.
Right. It's like interpreting the bones.
Right. Which some people might say, that's not interesting because the GM's running everything. No, it is still good. Like, it's very, very good.
There's so much player agency in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never not love it. So, yeah.
And again, I picked Fabula Ultima because it's perfect, and there is no other game that I need to play in my life. I'm joking, but also I'm not, kind of, because it's just great. Guys, if you haven't played it, check it out. I mean, at this point. Next up, we have best D&D replacement. Did you repeat for this one?
No, I didn't repeat.
Okay, so I think we might have picked the same one. So 3, 2, 1. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the revised second edition sketch cover,
Yeah.
but
I like
yeah,
my big chunky boy.
yeah,
So
I've got this, and I grabbed this one, but I do have the pocket version. But I was like, no, this cover is awesome. Like, I got to show
yeah.
off the sketch covers. I mean, what we don't talk a lot about Pathfinder, I feel like, on the channel, but for a while, it was the game we played the most
Yeah.
out of anything, specifically second edition.
Yeah, second edition. I mean, like first edition, I like, but it had too many things going on.
Mhm.
And some people love that. They
Yeah.
absolutely love just how crunchy that game is. Second edition is still crunchy. However, um, I feel like they mastered the organization for second edition,
I would agree.
and especially with the beginner box,
Mhm.
and some of the adventures that they've released. Like we'll do a video on the new. It's a new beginner box, but it's not called a beginner box. It's
Mhm.
game night, uh, Day of the Frogs or
Yeah.
something. We'll do a video on that. But I feel like they've really gotten in their groove with organization and description,
Mhm.
and it's so much easier to run than it used to be for first edition.
Mhm.
Um, it's got a lot of amazing artwork. I mean, can
Wayne
you
Reynolds.
go wrong with Wayne Reynolds covers? They're
No.
just and I still like fifth edition D&D,
Mhm.
but I'm not really buying their products anymore.
Right.
I haven't liked the direction of the company. I haven't really liked the direction of the products recently.
Mhm.
And if you love them, you do you. Go and play the game you love. But for me, the action system for
Mhm.
Pathfinder Second Edition, I, honestly, Fifth Edition is a distant second for me.
I think that's my big thing when we talk about it, because we picked this again for a replacement for D&D. I think if you really, really like martial classes but want them to do something besides just roll to hit, pick up Pathfinder.
Yeah.
I think, like, to me, what I tell people is if you like 5e, but you wish that combat had more tactical
Mhm.
natures to it, pick up Pathfinder. And when they go, "Oh, it looks really complicated," I go, "I promise you, it's not." The action
Mhm.
system makes it feel, if you like board gamey kind of games, it fits board gamey kind of style. To me, it's perfect in that regard.
Especially if you buy that beginner box and you have that card
Hmm.
with the little your little cutout tokens so that
Hmm.
you can keep track of your actions. If you have that, there's no reason not to run that game. It has
Right.
everything on it.
It's so easy, and, like, it makes things like spells easier because you're like, "Oh, these spells just cost this
God.
action," and you don't
Oh,
have to be like, "Oh, I'm casting
yeah.
light and I failed. Okay, but that was 1 action point, I have 2 left, I can still cast shield, I can still," like, you can do,
Yeah.
the multiple actions, like, "Oh, I missed a hit, I can try again, but I'm at a -5 this time."
Yep.
Like, there's just so much you can do in that game, and I think that's not where D&D fails, it's where Pathfinder improves upon,
Yep.
and if you're looking for that, it is the grab.
And if you are intimidated by all the options in making characters, there's a really great app
Mhm.
for making characters that I think is cool.
Path Builder?
That's it. Yeah. Path
Also
Builder
a
is pretty
website
great.
too, yeah.
And there are so many pre-made characters,
Mhm,
and you can use the iconic characters,
mhm,
and you can get those for each level.
right,
So really, just grab one of those, and
yeah.
it's just so good.
What is the name of that thing that's their official? It starts with a D. Do you know what I'm talking about? It, like, you can build characters in it. It's, like, called Dell something. I want to call it Delphi, but it's not that. I'll have to look it up. But it's basically like you can load PDFs into it and say you bought product and then build characters for
Hmm,
the game in it and stuff. It's like something they release official things for. I'll have to look this up and I'll
okay.
post it in
Yeah.
the comments and things. But it's a cool thing. I remember I did it when Remastered came out, and it
Okay.
was like really cool to check out. Um, yeah, on to our final category. Actually, before we do final category, I want to throw a twist in there. And I want to say, do you have any honorable mentions that you would have done for other categories that you feel like if I had had two choices, I would have put another game in there?
Yeah. So for with the horror,
Hmm.
I almost went with Alien by
Thought
Free
about that.
League. Um, so I only have the first edition. I haven't backed I didn't back the second edition on Kickstarter just because, I'm not really doing Kickstarter. So I'm just going to wait until it comes out to retail stores and grab it. Um, but the Alien game by Free League is really well put together. Um, and I think more than anything, like the there's like a campaign box. There's a
Mhm,
starter set. That starter set has everything you need. It's got your characters, got your dice, and everything. It's got maps of the ship,
mhm,
and I feel like they get the feeling right of
mhm.
Alien. And now that Alien Earth has come out, and a bunch of people like it, and you can do some variation within the Alien universe. Um, I wish more people would play that.
Mhm.
My only problem is that I've only played it once, and I wish I played it more.
Yeah.
Um, but I haven't had a whole lot of people to play a
Mm,
horror game with. I guess I
yeah.
could just do like me and Rob.
Yeah.
Just like solo. You're in a ship. You just woke
Uh-huh.
up and there's something hissing and crawling. So, what about you? What's an honorable mention for you?
I have 2. My first one in horror, I chose not to put it in horror because I don't think it's a horror game more than it's a fantasy game, but I almost put Heart, the City
Yeah,
Beneath.
I almost put. To be honest, I came really close to putting Heart for best fantasy
Yeah, that
because
is
it's weird enough.
yeah,
I
that
feel like
is
it's so good.
it's so good, it's so dark and twisted. I mean, I love everything about that game. I mean, again, Grant Howitt puts out a game and I take my wallet, so it's
The man knows what he's doing.
he does. He really does. And then the only one, and I'm surprised I picked Mothership, but I think I chose it because for best science fiction, because the other one, which I've run more and I love and we've played, is Cyborg, the
Yeah.
Mark Borg cyberpunk kind of version. I feel like Mothership was more sci-fi, which is why I
Mhm.
did that, but that would be my other pick. I mean, I love Cyborg. If you're afraid to try board games, like it's a good one to start with because it's just brutal as heck. Like
Mhm.
guns will just straight up murder you if you get shot. So
Yeah.
like very good game, super fun to play. But yeah, those were my only 2 like honorable mentions I almost put on the list.
Mhm.
And now we lead to the final category, which is best OSR game.
How about you do yours?
Okay. Do you have a guess? What do you think mine is?
Um,
Because I told you I didn't put like Cyborg on here, and I would argue that's one.
I thought it was going to be Pirate Borg.
Ha! It is. I had to pick Pirate Borg. I have to do my boys right.
It's so
As
good.
always, yeah, like Pirate Borg is amazing, guys. If you want, like, I cannot say enough great things about Luke and his brother Tyler and the whole
Mhm.
teams that work on this book. Like, I love seeing and working with them every Gen Con. I love getting opportunities to like push their stuff, play their stuff,
Mhm.
play in it, run it. I mean, like when I go and I help run Pirate Board at Gen Con, it feels like a family. Like we're all running around going like, hey, I know you're not playing, like running something. Do you want to just play? And I'm like, do I get to be a drunk pirate with a monkey? Yes, I will absolutely do that. Like,
I mean, you can do that in real life if you
yeah,
want.
I mean, my boss doesn't watch this. But I had a big pirate board. Pirate board is probably the game that got me into these kind of games because I originally wasn't big on them. I only really did like Swords and Wizardry with you. But this is the one that made me go, I think I'm missing out on some things. And I love it for that. So
yeah. And of course, my pick is going to be Swords and Wizardry. It's this one, the new complete Swords and Wizardry complete from Mythmere Games. I love this copy. It's the best. Now I do have, since we're allowing an honorable mention, I have an honorable mention just for this category.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw one out that I played it a couple of times. I don't remember if you and I played it, but there's so many people who like Old School Essentials. And Old School Essentials is more or less like the red box, and it's cool. It's great. It's got, it has everything that you want it to be. Don't miss out on a completely free game that you can also buy printed copies of, and it is compatible with old D&D adventures. I think you do have to make like a tiny switch. I think you may have to drop the armor class down. If you're using ascending armor class, you have to drop it down by one number. But Basic Fantasy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have not played this with you.
So it is very, kind of, like it's not flashy. However, they still like the author does updates for it, and like it's been revised several times. It's essentially the red box, and you are playing, like you can play any of that stuff. It's a good book. I still like my Swords and Wizardry more, but the Basic Fantasy book, it's good, and there's a bunch of adventures for it, and you can get those for free.
Awesome. There's some good ones. I want to do one last thing too. What game did I not put on my list that you thought would be on my list? Are there some games? Because I have one immediately I thought you would put on your list. No, I'm actually surprised it's not.
Yeah.
And that's Fantasy Age 2nd edition.
Yeah. That came really close. Almost put that on my list.
Honestly, like Bubble Gumshoe. I also thought Bubble Gumshoe might.
Bubble Gumshoe. Like I almost wanted to do that. I thought, honestly, I don't know. I feel like the big ones you covered, like your Monster of the Week, your Fabula Ultima, and Pirate Board. I feel like those you nailed my expectations.
Yeah. I think the only one, like I said, I did say one of my honorables was Heart, like you said.
Yeah.
I think that's the only other one I probably wax poetically about as a game.
Oh, I take that back. Oh my gosh, what's it called? The one with the vampire Nazis.
Oh my gosh, why am I blanking? It's right here. I have to pull it out. Oh my gosh, what is the name of this? Again, another Grant Howitt game.
Yeah.
Eat the Right.
Eat the Right. Yeah. That was I would have assumed that one would have been somewhere in there.
Reason it wasn't, I didn't know where to put it. I don't know if it fits any of those categories well. It's not a horror game. Like in a lot of ways, it's kind of weird and funky. You know what I think might have been? I could have done it as best historical, honestly.
Yeah,
but I might have actually put that game as best intro because it's not hard to play. Like that is a game that really doesn't. and you're like almost invincible in a lot of ways, so you're not like dying quickly and stuff.
Oh,
But
I did.
I mean, there's uh, oh, and then I didn't put I held back. I almost put all of the Needs games I own on here. Like
They
I
make good
almost put
stuff.
Breach on here for science fiction, even though we haven't played that yet. I just love the book. Terra Target Gemini could have been on here. I almost put it for like urban fantasy as like
Mhm.
kind of a way to do it. But yeah, I mean, there's so many, but I feel like honestly, I am surprised and not surprised by our list. Like I feel like they
Yeah.
both represent us very, very well.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, I hope everyone liked this live stream. I think this is a fun way to kind of change it up and do different things. If you have any choices of your own, tell us what are your best RPGs in these categories. Tell us that
Mhm.
we're absolutely wrong on these choices, or tell us we're absolutely
Sure.
right. I don't care. I totally read the comment. So, but hopefully we'll do more of these in the future. And until next time,